Hey guys, this is Forges down here with another Halo Wars 3v3. And in this match, I'll be playing against Limitz, that mailbox, and Mexican Taco, and my teammates will be iFin Bic. Sorry. I play random twos, which is also known as V-Snipes V and GC Velocity. And we will be having an Anders Arbiter Brute Mare on Frozen Valley. Now in this matchup, most of the time you want to like go Gauss, unless it's against Triple UNSC. But pretty much every single matchup except for Triple UNSC, you want to go Gauss. And I thought we had it. I thought we had it and the bag when we started the game because I looked at who was playing who, and Limitz is more of a brute player, and that mailbox is a pretty rusty guy. But then I looked at the positioning, and a lot of the times in a high-level match, it's not really about whether one player is better than the other, since even if one player is, it's a lot of the stuff has to do with what the map happens, which combo it is, and where the things are positioned. As you see, our Brute Chieftain, most of the time you want to have Brute Chieftain Rush and Anders or Forge on this map, just so you can have that extra minute just to go be ahead of the other UNSC. You can just go rape the other guy's base before the other UNSC has even Gauss to defend against your Gauss or do the same over at your side of the map. But we have our Brute is on the opposite side of the Anders, so we can't do much. And then our Arbiter is all the way away from their Brute when he tries to rush. And then also they have the reactor hook, and I'm in the middle spot. But strangely, their Brute doesn't attack my base, which I was kind of expecting. I was about to go barracks right after or something like that. But then he just walks away. So I'm just gonna play it normally at this point. And another thing about trying to defend against a Brute rush on this map, you want to have turrets and flamethrowers, because you're gonna be using the barracks to get in the reactor and have an extra 3 tech to begin with. So it's not a bad idea just to use that so you can defend against the rush, or else if you don't make turrets or flamers, he's just gonna walk all over you. Now I see their Brute Chieftain got to our side quicker, which means we'll probably be denying their 5th pad, and we might not be able to do that. And I kind of, usually most of the time I'm going to go 3 hogs reactor 3rd, but I kind of go 5 hogs reactor 3rd a lot more now, just because I'd rather have an extra hog instead of another upgraded pad earlier. And now I just wanted to kill the turret real quick because I'm going to be walking the Marine into the reactor, and a lot of the time the Rebel turret and with the Rebel Marines can just kill a Marine like it's nothing. Then it'll just die, and it'll be a waste of 100 resources, which could have been another hog. And originally, most of the time, if they have the reactor, you want to go attack them before they have gunner. But in this time, Limitz went reactor 2nd, and barracks 2nd instead of barracks 3rd. So that kind of makes it, I can't stop them. They'll have gunner at the same time as me, since barracks 3rd is as slow as reactor 4th. But he's gonna have it at the same time as me, so there's no reason to go in and try to kill his hogs and stop the Marine. But then I see that I have more hogs than him, so I'm gonna try to engage him right here. But then Velocity tells me that he does have Grenadier, and each upgrade for every unit except for leaders is an additional 25% in damage and health. So if I had 7 gunner hogs, it'd probably not do so well against 5 Grenadier. So I'll just wait until I have it. And the person with the reactor should be able to have Gauss a lot quicker than the guy without the reactor. And I saw that on our side of the base, we're doing a better defense and a better offense, pretty much, because their Brute Chieftain doesn't have inheritance yet, and he's just walking around, while our Brute Chieftain is still stopping paths and has inheritance. Which is what you want to do. On this map, the Arbiter should be defending, and then the Brute Chieftain should be pushing up, Temple 2nd, or maybe Temple 1st, usually Temple 1st. and just try to deny their 4th or 5th pad if you get there in time. If you're temple 1st, you're obviously going to get the 4th pad, but if you're temple 5th, then I guess. Yeah. And that's for both UNSC, and that's both if they're attacking the UNSC or if they're attacking the Covenant. Another thing about the Covenant on this map, this is a pretty much a UNSC based map, which is why I like it the most, because if my teammates mess up or something like that, I can just bank it off like me doing better than the other UNSC, since not only is it a UNSC orientated map, it's also the hardest map for UNSC to play. It's the trickiest. So, like I said, I can just bank on them making a mistake where I wouldn't. I usually don't lose my Goss. And most of the time, you want to actually push up and start attacking them. But at the time, I didn't know where the Arbiter was, and I wanted to kill the turret real quick. And he had the reactor, so it's not, if I try to push up on the Brute Chieftain and start attacking him or the Arbiter, then he could easily just send his hogs in and just ram me, since he'll be an upgrade ahead since he has the reactor. But Velocity, thankfully managed to catch all of his hogs, so he's not going to be too much of a problem at this point. And now it's just pretty much GG, because I can just drop a D-bomb and kill this guy's base, and Limitz probably won't have enough hogs to stop me. Now I wait for the Arbiter to come there and start attacking, instead of waiting. He might, like, a lot of times the Arbiter might try to fake you out and just run towards you, make you drop the D-bomb like early, and then he'll not even be there. And it's at this point I start realizing there's an engineer at the back. So I tell my teammate to go vortex it, but I guess he didn't listen, so I have to send, I'm gonna have to send a few hogs at the back trying to kill it. But instead, he has the Banshee shoot at it, which is just as good. But then I see he has his Goss here, and he was on 2 base for a little while, so he still has a few more hogs. And it's pretty. We have the same amount right here. He has one more, but then his other one comes in since he has the defender's advantage. And most of the time, if you're pushing with tanks or Goss, the other guy will have more hogs than you or more tanks than you, because their units will be there quicker since they're closer. But at this point, we're just shooting at the base, and it's probably gonna die. But I think around here I start to back off or something when his Goss comes in again, because I'd rather there's like I know the Arbiter's gonna be back out since it takes a minute for them to come back, so I can just leave. But then Limitz traps me with his Goss. And our Arbiter, I tell the Arbiter to come over and try to rage him. And a lot of the time, well, I lost my Marine to the Arbiter, so it's not like I can get reserves. But a lot of the time, I like to triple base before reserves if I'm ahead. Just because you have the extra base and they can't stop it. But if I was getting harassed, if we were losing, then I wouldn't buy the 3rd base if I knew that I wasn't going to get it. And just get reserves instead, which would be more useful than a dead base and a waste of 500. Then I see their Arbiter is raging our Arbiter, but our Arbiter doesn't have as much health since he's been raging hogs. So he's gonna have to back off, recall, and ask for a heal instead of trying to get the heal there. And another thing, for people that don't really play throughs that much, a lot of the time the Covenant will Covenant will give a click to the UNSC when he asks for a heal, just just so the UNSC isn't that behind. But he gave me 2 right here, which you don't usually want to do it, but it's all right. He's going all Arbiter, and he's not spending money on Vamp, so he has nothing else to use his money on besides his Arbiter. And since he's not raging, he can afford to just give me some money. Then I come in there and try to snipe his Expo real quick. Because I know he was just, if he had like 1 or 2 Gauss Hogs, he probably would have been able to stop the Banshees if they don't have repeating cannon. So I needed to come in there and just make sure the Expo died. Now I see that Snipes Chieftain is still at their base. And since we still have our Arbiter, the both of us choose just to go over there and ram him to death, since if you have Gauss plus an Arbiter raging their Arbiter, then he's probably going to die pretty easily. And when you're fighting an Arbiter, you want to use your ram ability. If he's at the D-Bon and he's not raging, or if you manage to catch him off guard and he's not raging yet, then you want to like just shoot at him normally before you ram him until he gets into rage mode. You just shoot at him normally, since when he's in rage mode he dodges the Gauss shots, but when he's not in it, he takes them normally, and it's a lot more. He loses a lot more health if he just gets shot like that. And I see our Arbiter is still raging down their Gauss. And then he loses all of his Hogs here, so it's pretty much over, and they start to resign. And